6 down, 1 to go as we're getting ready for the D7 State Championship tonight at Paul Brown Tiger Stadium in Massillon, Ohio, as Trimble will try to win its first state championship ever. Marion Local looks to do it again as they look to go back to back to back. Dave Chudowski with you here in the Hyundai Studios, along with the coach Bill Powers, Ryan Kavanaugh. And guys, we're coming off that exciting Division I state championship, and we're looking for more excitement tonight in the D7 game. And coach, I'll tell you what, when we start talking about Marion Local, you're talking about a team that has been there, done that. But when you look at the roster, not a lot of players that are all state. This is just a team that gets it together and they win ball games, and it's a tight-knit community.
Yeah, and that's kind of one of your more dangerous teams that doesn't have one superstar. Because when you got a superstar, you try and shut him down. It makes him do something different. When you got a team that does everything well and has multiple contributors, that's a very, very difficult team to stop.
And Ryan, this is a Marion Local team that knows about Trimble. Some people would think maybe Trimble could sneak up on you, but this is a Trimble program that's had a fantastic year, and Marion Local's known about them for a long time.
Yeah, part of what makes Marion Local so good is the preparation and their understanding of who's out there across the state. Last year, when Marion Local won the state championship, they beat Newark Catholic. When you play a team, you exchange game films, and one of the game films Coach Tim Goodwin got from Newark Catholic is their game last year against Trimble. They looked at that game film and they said, this Trimble team has a lot of players coming back, and they're very good. Ever since that moment last year, Coach, Marion Local has kept their eye on Trimble. They've checked their scores every week, and they are one team who are not surprised that the Tomcats are here in the finals today.
Okay, and let's find out how these teams got here today. Both undefeated, so someone's going to lose for the first time. Let's start with Marion Local, 14-0. The #1 team in the Associated Press, Region 26, the 3 seed, as I mentioned, going for back-to-back-to-back, the state's best 21-game winning streak. And then when you talk about Trimble, you're talking about a team that is also 14-0. Trimble, the 3 seed in the AP, Region 25, the #1 seed in Region 1. First time ever coming off the win over Western Reserve. And to break down this game, we head out to Massillon. Matt Underwood and Frank Stams have the call. Guys, take it away.
All right, thanks, Chud. Ryan, Coach, it is going to be absolutely frosty tonight here in Massillon for the Division VII State Championship game. Game time temperature is expected to be 18 degrees. Good news is no wind, Frank, so that's a good, that's the silver lining.
That's some consolation anyway.
Exactly. But the bottom line here tonight, it's going to take sound, fundamental football to win this game. I don't think we're going to see a lot of trick plays that'll be the difference. It's going to be who out-hits the opposition. And you've got 2 very good football teams. Marion Local, they've got history, they've got tradition, 6 state championships. They're going for 3 in a row.
It's just an outstanding program there, and what makes them so good is the consistency in the coaching staff. They've got great community support, but when they go to practice, those kids, whether it's in the off season or during the season, they know what's exactly expected of them.
Well, I mean, we've already had 4 back-to-back state champions crowned this weekend. Marion Local, though, can be the only team this weekend to win 3 in a row. So that's what they're going for. For the Trimble Tomcats, they're the real-life version of Hoosiers. The entire town is here from Athens County. What a ride it has been. First ever trip here to the state championship game. And Austin Downs, a tremendous 2-way performer. They've got 8 guys who go both ways, offense and defense. Downs might be the most versatile and the biggest threat they have.
And you see the speed at which Downs plays with. He's already the all-time leading receiver at the school, and he's just a junior. And look at it. They love him on the deep routes. His speed really is going to be a challenge for that Marion Local secondary.
All right, let me ask you one last thing, Frank. We talked about all the teams going for back-to-back crowns. Experience factor. Marion Local, they've been here a lot. First ever trip for Trimble. Does that play a factor in tonight's game?
Well, I think it does, starting the game. Poise is going to be a big factor, especially for Trimble. But what they've got to be is I'm sure they've been prepared well to play this football game. And when you're prepared well to play a football game, when you get out there, you're going to settle down in a hurry.
All right, so it's going to be frosty. State championship on the line. We'll be back with a play-by-play coming up in a little while, guys.
All right, guys, thank you so much for that. You know, the thing that Matt just said about the Hoosiers type story, I mean, Athens County hasn't had a team in the state championship since 1981. Their team phrase is hold the rope for support. It's a small, tight-knit community, and they want to see this team take it one step further.
Yeah, and Gloucester also, unfortunately, is one of the more depressed towns in Ohio. It's a former mining community, but the football team has been something the entire team the community has been able to rally around, and they're not joking when they said the entire community is going to be here tonight.
Yeah, matter of fact, in their semifinal game, when they won the semifinal, the whole team, coaches and players, ran to the stands, celebrated with their parents, their friends, and alumni from the school, and it was just a big old party.
We look forward to tonight. It is going to be a good one in Division VII. We've had some great action from today as we take a look at the scores from earlier. In the D5 state championship, Coldwater goes back-to-back, beating Bishop Hartley. 24-7 is the final as your man, Ryan, steps up big time.
Brody Hoying made me proud, made me sound like I knew what I was talking about. We need to get some college teams recruiting Brody Hoying.
And listen, I'm going to be honest with you. I still have chills right now after that game, the Mentor and the Moeller game. I do. I'm still unbelievable. I mean, speechless, 55-52. These are the teams getting ready to go here tonight from Massillon, Marion Local, and Trimble. We have more on the pregame show coming up after this timeout on Sports Time Ohio. And the coin toss has been flipped, and Marion Local is going to receive as we are getting set for the Division VII State Championship, the final one. We have 7 now this year, 6 down, 1 more to go. Paul Brown Tiger Stadium in Massillon. I'm Dave Chudowski in Cleveland, Hyundai Studios. Coach Bill Powers, Ryan Kavanaugh. Guys, here we go as we are looking forward to see who gets the final trophy of the weekend. And speaking of trophies, the MAC, they get a lot of them, don't they? How about this now with Coldwater winning today? Coldwater now has 4. That ups the total, Coach, to 29. Marion Local has a chance to get to 7.
Yeah, Marion Local, a lot of pressure on you tonight because 30 is a nice number.
Ryan, incredible history there as we look to the road to the championship. And when you look at what Marion Locals had to get through there, that game against Covington, that was about as close as it gets for this program.
Major test. Adam Berkey, quarterback, had to lead them last seconds of the 4th quarter to win that game. And you see the state semifinal, what a lot of people thought was state championship caliber. They had to beat another MAC team, St. John's, to get here.
Delphus St. John's, and they beat them in the regular season as well. And you know the road to the regular season isn't easy. Let's go back to 2012, just a year ago, as Marion Local gets it done, winning their 2nd state title in a row, taking down Newark Catholic, which is never easy, Coach, because we talked about the history, right? Newark Catholic was so much history, 28-21 the final there.
The amazing thing about that game is how many guys went down and got replaced by a freshman or a sophomore who came in and they didn't miss a beat, and those kids are all playing tonight now.
Boy, that just goes to show you the depth that that program has and their ability to get it done year in and year out. So, can they get it done tonight? We're going to help try and figure that out as we get you set for the matchups. And Ryan, I start with you, and we look at the offense for Marion Local, and it starts with their quarterback, a guy that is just really a phenomenal kid, a phenomenal leader, and a stud on the field.
Yep, a 3-year starter, Adam Berkey. He is committed to play at the University of Pitt. You don't see that often out of Division VII. You know, most of this season, Berkey was injured, and he still has over 1,500 yards and 18 touchdowns. He is a clutch performer. Last year with the injuries to the running backs, he carried it 27 times, so he could do it on the ground, but he's a big, strong pocket passer. Look for Adam Berkey to put all his tools on display tonight.
And he has a guy behind him, not too bad at all either, to help him out with the running game.
Yeah, J.C. Guttemoller is only a junior, but really a top running back in the entire state. And look how shifty he is. He knows how to bounce it to the outside. He's got a lot of speed. Guttemoller is another guy who dealt with a lot of injuries. And as I mentioned, last year in the state finals, he was injured. So he wants a taste of putting his skills on display on the biggest stage.
Overall, will it be the run game or the pass game that lifts them to a victory tonight if they win?
Whatever they want usually is how Marion Local does it. In all honesty, Coach Tim Goodwin says is he takes what the defense gives him. But it's nice to have the luxury of a Berkey and a Guttemoller. But I'm telling you, this is a very good Marion Local football team.
Okay, let's move on to Trimble now. And Coach, this is a team with 8 shutouts. I mean, did I get that right? 8
Yes.
shutouts. How about this number? They only gave up 33 points in the regular season. That's unbelievable.
Well, they're doing something right. And And it starts with they run a 5-3 defense. That's their package they run. I told you, I hate the 5-3. You know that because it's so hard to go against. They had a beast of a nose tackle right there, John Stevens, 5'10", 230-pound fire plug. If you got a nose guard who can control the middle of both A gaps, which is the gaps between both guards, that's really going to limit what Marion Franklin can do up the middle and force them to go outside then.
And you're talking about the Defensive Player of the Year as well, Coach. That's definitely going to help them along the way.
Yeah, you got Jacob Coons. You see him right there. 6'2", 200 pounds, Defensive Player of the Year. Once again, when you run the 5-3 defense, you want to have a defensive lineman protecting that man right there so he can run around the field and just decapitate runners as they're running around. And that is the man who's going to do it today.
All right, that's a good breakdown of Maria Stein, Marion Local, and how they plan on getting it done. Now we're going to head to the third member of the game crew, and that's Lindsay Raleigh, as she's standing by with Trimble's head coach. Lindsay, take it away.
Thanks, guys. Coach, this is a program that's never been to the state championship. How have you helped your team manage the emotions that come with playing in a state title game?
It's just the makeup of this team. There's really nothing to do. They've, they act the same this game as they did our first game of the year. They're real level-headed, and they just love playing the game. So they're going to go out. We're not going to do anything different. Like I said, the emotion's been the same for every game.
And Coach, you were telling me before about how the community has just rallied around this team. Talk to me about the local support you've received this year.
Oh, it's been unbelievable. I know, where we've had a little bit of success. When we go into the playoffs, they're excited. But it's unbelievable how they've reacted now. We go back after a game, everyone's out on the street, 11:30 at night, and there's 300-400 people waiting for you in the street. And it's just a great feeling. These kids really like it, and it's just good for the whole community.
And Connor Stanley has been an absolute force for you this year. How much of an impact is he going to make on the outcome of this game?
Oh, it's we're going to put the ball in our seniors' hands. He and Jacob Coons, John Stevens on the line, but it's all going to start with Connor. He's going to be in shotgun formation. He's going to have a lot of audibles he can make, and he's been real good so far.
All right, thanks so much, Coach. Good luck. Back to you guys in the studio.
Lindsay, thank you so much for that. And you may have noticed earlier in the stands, saw a Mohawk. You saw Jacob Coons with a Mohawk. It's the Mohawk Mafia, and it's taken over the Trimble football program, and it's even shot itself all the way up to Cleveland, Mr. Kavanaugh.
Yeah, I don't feel like the Mohawk Mafia should be limited to Athens County. In the spirit of getting behind the Trimble Tomcats, I decided to go Mohawk myself, and of course you can't go Mohawk and be a Tomcat without dyeing it red. So there you have it. Although, guys, you'll be happy to know I kept the sideburns.
You look like you could possibly be one of those fighters that you follow, the ultimate fighter.
Right.
Yeah, okay. Trimble's road to success. 3 tight games the last 3 weeks, and they beat an unbelievable Western Reserve team last week, 14-10. The people out in Berlin Center were excited to try to get here, but they fell a game short. What a season for Western Reserve. But that was the final game to get Trimble to this game here. As you look at that road there, it wasn't easy, but they're here.
Yeah, absolutely. That, especially against Shadyside and Western Reserve, 2 physical running football teams that got their defense prepared. We'll see if they're able to take out the multifaceted offense of Marion Local today.
And I'll tell you what, from a coaching perspective, you want to know your kids have been battle tested. They know they can, if things get tight tonight, they're not going to panic because they've had tight games the last 3 weeks of the playoffs. So this is just another ball game for them.
All right, let's talk about the All-State mobile quarterback, Ryan, as he has got to be good tonight.
Connor Stanley, 2-time All-State. He was All-State as a junior and a real dual threat. You heard Coach Ferris just talk about it. We're going to put it in Connor's hands. This year he has the option to run at any time, and you see how quick and shifty he is. He also throws a real nice deep ball. Here he is going deep, getting up top of the defense, throwing to that receiver, Austin Downs. If they're going to take shots, I look for Stanley to throw it downfield to number 10.
Amazing to think all of the freshmen and sophomore that we have seen so far in these first 6 games, and we have another one tonight there, running back's a sophomore.
Yeah, Justice Jenkins, only a sophomore, and he filled in for last year's starter, Bryce Mathers. He broke his arm. Justice Jenkins came back, and he never relinquished it. You look at that, over 800 yards on the ground and 12 touchdowns. There's a couple guys that carry it, but Justice Jenkins is the electrifier. He's the big play runner out of the backfield.
Coach, let's move over to you. Marion Local, what's the defensive game plan tonight?
Well, if you watch the last game we had, the Menor and Moeller game, running quarterbacks traditionally like to run between the guards and between the tackles. So if you have that, you better have a good linebacker nose guard combination. And with Marion Local runs a 3-4. One of their inside linebackers is right there, number 43,